We arrived in Puerto Inirida to find that all the gas stations were closed, and we would not be able to take the boats out onto the river that day. So we found a taxi with enough gas to take us to a stream outside the city where we might be able to see some fish. We stopped along the road in a marshy area with ephemeral ponds and found some really interesting species, including plants, and then continued on to the village at the Can Vitina crossing, where we found a party going on. Colombia is awesome. Ted's Fish Room presents Colombia 2016, sponsored by Amazonas Magazine, Rapashi Superfoods, and SwissTropicals.com. The port city of Inirida is located on the south bank of the Rio Inirida, a couple miles upstream from its confluence with the larger Rio Guaviare. The Rio Inirida is a black water river that drains an area in the southern part of Colombia, not part of the Llanos ecosystem. The Rio Guaviare marks the southern border of the Llanos and is a whitewater river that drains the southernmost part of that ecosystem. Both rivers combine only a few miles from where they meet the mighty Rio Orinoco, the second largest watershed in South America. Tucked into the area between the Rio Inirida and the Rio Orinoco is the Rio Atabapo, a beautiful black water river that flows north and forms the border between Colombia and Venezuela. All these rivers coming together is the reason this is a special place on Earth and why we are visiting Inirida. Their close proximity to each other also means that the smaller streams around the city of Inirida flow into either the Rio Inirida or the Rio Atabapo, and the types of fauna in those different drainages can be slightly different. The village at the crossing of Cano Vitina is only about 5 miles from downtown Inirida, but it is actually a tributary of the Rio Atabapo, and we hope to find some of the unique species from that river in this stream. The party on the Cano looks like it would be a lot of fun, but looking for fish in the big pool under this bridge would be kind of pointless. So we are led to a section of the Cano upstream from the party to look for fish. Because of everybody walking up and down this waterway, the water isn't clear enough for underwater videography, so we pulled out the seine to see what we could catch. Are you saying you actually like my seine?
20 or 30, some of them big.
Almost everybody who plays with my seine or sees it goes, oh, it's too small, it's too fine, it can't be pulled far enough, it's not big enough, it's not long enough.
Shut up.
But you guys seem to be doing okay with it.
Okay, there's at least 2 dozen in there.
That's cool. Now you might be able to hold them in the water.
When we entered the water, we thought we were close to the stream, but we were actually 100 yards away from the main channel. That's how high this water is during the flood stage. Our time is short here. We only had about an hour to explore before the sun started to go down. But we did see some fish that were interesting, like cardinal tetras, but we didn't find the pikes that we were looking for. We have a couple hours to kill in the morning before our boats are ready to go on the river, so we decided to come back and see what we can find in the main channel of the Cano Vitina.
There's current, and the current is going that way.
Amazonas, the world's favorite aquarium magazine. Amazonas is one of the world's legendary tropical fish publications, read by tens of thousands of enthusiasts who are passionate about keeping fascinating and thriving freshwater aquariums. Every issue brings rare fish husbandry and breeding, world-class aquarium systems, freshwater aquarium advice, and thought-provoking news, and much, much more. Stay inspired, stay informed, and stay connected to the world's most passionate aquarium keepers. Subscribe to the world's favorite aquarium magazine, Amazonas. Sponge filters are the choice of serious aquarists in their fish rooms because they are inexpensive and effective. The biggest mistake a fish keeper can make is to assume that there is no technical advantage to one type of filter over another. Poret filter foams are superior to other foams which will eventually break down in an aquarium. I have Poret foam filters from Swiss Tropicals that have been in constant use in my fish room for a decade. Swiss Tropicals is the exclusive distributor of Poret foam in North America and a supplier of other high-quality aquarium products. Visit SwissTropicals.com today and learn more about the aquarium filters that the experts use. The next morning, the party on the Can Vitina is over, but as soon as we get in the water, somebody turns the tunes back on. I guess it's a rule that if you're going to swim in the Can Vitina, you gotta have music playing at the same time. The Can Vitina is a classic and breathtakingly beautiful blackwater stream. The water is very soft and incredibly acidic. The pH is under 5.0. The tannin load in the water is dense, and light only penetrates a few feet into the water. And the water is deep, 6 to 8 feet in the middle of the stream. The only place I can shoot my underwater footage is in the shallow areas along the edge of the stream. The bank is steep and littered with leaves and sticks, and there are some interesting fish to see, including one of my target species for the trip, dwarf pike cichlids. While I am swimming and filming, the others are busily trying to catch fish. We learned pretty quickly that the local kids are a lot better at catching them than we are, so we hand them our nets, pick up our cameras, and wait for the boys to bring us what they find. Vin is especially interested in seeing some of the undescribed pike cichlids that come from this area, but they are very hard to catch, especially in high water. Dudu, our friend from Brazil, is a talented and dedicated fisherman. He assumes the challenge of catching pikes using hook and line, and he does not disappoint, catching this beautiful undescribed species with a lot of red markings. Meanwhile, we're inspecting a lot of the aquatic plants growing along the margins of the stream. We find Sagittaria, Eliocharis species, Bayaka fluviatilis, and this plant, Tonia fluviatilis, a plant that is rare in the hobby and in great demand. On this stream, however, it is pretty easy to find. Jeff is having fun supervising the kids and accumulating what they catch. They find a lot more fish than we see while we're snorkeling. There are a lot of interesting fish here, but we did not catch many of them, so Hernando hires the boys to spend the week catching more of the pike cichlids for Vin, promising that we will return at the end of our trip to buy what we find. By midday, we need to be on our way back to Puerto Inirida, where our boats have been fueled and readied for our adventure onto the big rivers. We have only been in the area for 24 hours. We've already seen some cool species and some incredible habitat, and the main expedition has not even begun.
Did you see that thing biting you?
No.
It looked like a tick.
Oh, it might have been a water bug, like a water bug.
It was a water bug.
I didn't realize it bit that hard.
It does.
It felt like it was
Sorry,
boring a hole
it's
in
my
it.
fault, Vin. It's always my fault. Rain and the sun, it's my fault.
So how big does this species get? Because I have one at home that doesn't get very big.
Don't miss an episode of Colombia 2016. Please subscribe to my channel and help spread the word by sharing this video with your friends. Thank you for watching Ted's Fish Room, and please check out my sponsors for this series, Repashy Superfoods, SwissTropicals.com, and Amazonas Magazine.